welcome back. Now if you fancy making this bowl of yumminess for your next camping trip, then please keep watching. Hey friends, welcome back to a bit of a damp, soggy morning here in Cornwall. It's not looking that nice, I have to say, but we're going to brighten the day up by making these lovely kind of meatballs, kind of faux meatballs. You'll see what I mean. I am definitely cheating with this recipe. We're going to make meatballs and pasta in one pot, and it's going to be delicious and unctuous and very, very tasty. So first thing we're going to do is make our meatballs, and you may be able to guess how we're going to do this. We're cheating. We're going to remove the skins from these lovely sausages from my local butcher, and we're just going to roll them up, like cut them into pieces and then roll them up into meatballs. It's kind of a really quick and easy way to make meatballs from scratch, because you know me, I'm a bit lazy. So let's do just that. So what you need to do, if you're grossed out by like touching raw meat and stuff, then skip this, just go and buy a packet of meatballs. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you how I make these delicious meatballs from scratch. So just score that skin and then pull that away. Kind of a bit gross, but like just deal with it. And then when you've got your skinless sausage, just use a sharp knife and kind of cut it up into pieces. These are quite thick sausages, so I'll probably get about 5 or 6 meatballs out of each one, and then simply roll it in your hands until you have a little meatball. Isn't that cool? Now the reason I'm wearing rubber gloves is not because I'm grossed out by using raw meat, because I'm a farmer's daughter and I've butchered all kinds of animals, you wouldn't believe it. The reason I do this is because I don't have a sink here in Myrtle, and when I handle raw meat, and especially fish, pork or chicken, then I tend to use these gloves because it just makes cleanup that much easier. Now another option for this dish is to, perhaps the night before, if you're going to have sausages like bangers and mash or something for your tea, just cook extra sausages, and then the next day you can simply dice up your cooked cold sausages, and you've already shaved like 10 minutes off this whole recipe. So it's going to make the whole thing even quicker. And does it matter that they won't be little balls, little round balls? I don't think so, because so long as you buy decent quality sausages, they're going to be yummy. I don't think that matters. Right, let's move that mess out of the way. Now we need to get our pan on and get that heating. Now, although I want to heat that pan up, I want to keep that gas quite low, because when I cook sausages or meatballs or that kind of thing, I like that really golden crusty crust on the outside. So I'm going to heat my pan up first before I put the oil in, but then I'm going to have the meatballs cooking quite a while in there. Okay, when you've got some heat in your pan, pop in a little bit of oil. Don't need very much, a couple of teaspoons will be plenty. Okay, now I'm going to pop in my little nuggets of meatballness. Oh, these are going to be so good. And I have tested this recipe before. I made it for Johnny, and he's a builder. He loves his bangers. He definitely approved of this dish. Now another way that you can make this recipe even quicker is I'm going to be making my pasta sauce from scratch. So I'm using tin tomatoes and herbs and spices and things to make my sauce. But when I tested this recipe previously, I did use a jar of pasta sauce, and it was fine. It was really tasty. Try not to rush this process. I know I'm sat here like prodding and tickling trying to see if they're ready. Alright, so I've got some lovely dark golden crust on my little meatballs now, which I'm very happy with. To stop them from burning, I'm going to continue with the rest of the cooking now. So in goes my onion. Get that frying down with the meatballs too. And then I'm going to add in my tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to add in my flavourings as well, so I'm putting some balsamic vinegar in. And I always add this to a pasta or a tomato-based sauce. I think it just adds such a lovely flavour. I'm going to add some chilli flakes. Actually, I'm going to do it into my hand first. So if you tip that over your steam and you get steam in there, then that's not going to be good. And I'm going to put some oregano in as well. maybe a little bit more because I love oregano. Right, I'm going to give that a little swill round, and then straight away what I want to do, because you can see that's still quite wet, that's just tinned tomatoes, that's not reduced down into our lovely thick unctuous pasta sauce. Now one thing I do need to use one of these funny pasta measurers, because I never know how much spaghetti to add. So that, as that fits in that hole, that's one portion of spaghetti. I'm going to break the pieces up, and I tend to put these shorter pieces break them into 4 or 5 lengths. That last one is quite tricky. And then we're going to stir that round. Now you are going to need to be adding more moisture to this, because obviously that dried pasta is dried. I've got my trusty kettle here, which I forgot to boil, so mine's actually cold. Do as I say, not as I do. That was my dad's favourite phrase when I was a kid. And then just keep that bubbling round. I'm going to pop the lid on and just let that gently simmer for about 10 minutes or so, give or take. Obviously keep an eye on your spaghetti, keep it moving around the pan every now and then as well. Okay, let's take that lid off and have a little look. See, it's probably been about 10 minutes now that this has been simmering away. The sauce is nice and thick. That, my friends, is absolutely perfect. Just going to leave the lid off now just for a few seconds, and that's just going to reduce down the last of that sauce to become nice and thick and oozy. Which reminds me, I've actually forgotten to salt and pepper it. So I'm going to grind that into my hand so I don't get the steam going up into the grinder either. And a good little shaking of Cornish sea salt. Just quickly stir that in through as well. Again, taste your sauce. If you want more herbs or if you want more chilli in there, then go for it. Yummy. Right, heat off. And then another little grand finale that I like to add to a pasta dish is a nice lump of stinky parmesan. And I just use a potato peeler and I just scatter some of that over the top. And there we go. If I had a fresh basil plant in here, which I don't tend to travel with fresh basil plants, but if I had one, I'd be topping it with leaves from that as well. And actually, I think I've got some basil in the kitchen, in which case I will be adding some to the thumbnail picture, just so you know. Right, lovelies, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please wallop that thumbs up for me. Hit subscribe and also ding that bell if you'd like to have more interesting, easy, one-pot camping recipes like this appear as if by magic in your YouTube feed. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I guess, until then, over and out, happy camping, stay safe, and mwah, see you on the other side. Bye.